Hey, good afternoon. This is Bill with Bill's Never Ending Videos, and today we're going to do a video on the walk around the 2005 Pontiac Sunfire, and then talk about stuff that came with it or didn't come with it. We'll talk about where I got it and how long I've had it, and a couple things that I've run into and things I've read that might happen to it in the future from what people say, and the brakes that I've been doing. Mostly that's what the video is going to be about, but I've already put it together, and my wife took it for a test drive and she said the brakes are all fixed. So I'm going to talk about some things I ran into during doing the brakes after the walk around. So we got this car a couple years ago from
my brother Dave and his wife Joan.
And my wife was thankful to get it, even though her silver car was still running, because last winter we left her silver car sit and she drove this for the whole winter. And so then that was after I fixed the muffler. That's the only video I did in this car so far, was fixing the muffler bracket. So now we're going to do a walk around and talk about it. Well, first walk around, we'll look at the body design. It's a coupe. It's a two-door coupe. This one has a sunroof, and it's not a sports car, but it's a small car made to look like a sports car, I suppose. This is not a hatchback. You can stick things into the back seat when you're hauling a piece of lumber or something, but it's got this in the way. Let's continue to walk around. This is what it looks like in the trunk area, and it's got this little plastic wing on it, and this, I kept saying, where's the thing to open the gas tank? And I would have to run all the way in or wait for her to come back from the convenience store when we're putting it in. She says it's not locked, you just got to pull real hard. It's hard.
Fingernail breaker.
Are you getting me in the video now? Because that's why you're taking it. So usually I'm just a narrator where nobody sees me, but today my wife's helping me so I can be in the video. Yeah, I got a car in the way here, so you'll have to back up and go around the trunk to shoot the side of it. There ain't much else to see on the side. It's got P195 65R 15 tires. And it's got drum in the back, and it's got disc in the front. It does have bucket seats. Let's go back around that way, and I'll open the hood. What it doesn't have in the interior, the base price is $10,895. You'll have to stand way back in there probably to get me in the video. It does come with bucket seats. We didn't get any electric one for that base price, and this is probably a base price car. We don't get any electric windows. We don't get any cruise. We don't get any electric seats. I think the XM for the radio was an option, but I don't know if it was ever in there because it came with an aftermarket radio. There's one thing when you get these cars, and if they got 100,000 or so, you're probably going to have to order from the Twin Cities somebody that sells things to fix the gauges. I had to go through that. I don't think I can't remember what I did totally to do it, but I don't know if there was, yeah, there was soldering, I think. I did it at my soldering bench for my electrical stuff I monkey with in the winter. I put them in, and the wife said, hey, it worked. So gauges have worked ever since. Yeah, it's too bad they didn't have a few more options, especially cruise control. But the 2.0 the 2.2 engine, it's an inline four-cylinder. It's not an EV. They call it Ecotech. The one problem that could be with this engine, if you don't change your oil on time, and I would say don't even go 3,000 miles, change it to 2,500, is this timing chain. If you took this cover off, this is your coil right here. If you were to take this cover off to inspect your timing chain, taking all the bolts all the way around, and then when you take the coil off, you'd see some more bolts staggered in here. And of course, there's a couple of hoses unhooked. If you were to take this off, you could see your timing chain, and so you could see how looser it is. That's why it's so important to change the oil in this thing. This is an interference engine. If this timing chain breaks, it's not going to be fixable because the pistons will smash into the valves. Of course, anything's fixable probably if you want to take the whole head off and all that and put new valves in or whatever. But I'm just saying, if you change your oil on time, maybe this timing chain could last for over 200,000 miles. But they first will start giving you trouble, giving you a tick. And then there's, if you ever have to change it, change everything that has to do with it. And then there's another thing in there that can break off, a bolt that goes into the head to hold something to do with the timing chain. If that breaks off, whether the chain ever broke or not, it will snap your chain at that time because that bolt will get down in there. Or it could do 2 or 3 different things, but it's not good. And again, since it's an interference engine, at that time your engine's probably going to be junk. And I priced engines on eBay; they're $1,000, and I checked them. I priced them on one thing. He sells them for $2,800, rebuilt ones. But okay, so the good things about it, they're peppy, 140 horsepower, and they take off pretty good. This is the VIN number. This is the VIN number. The first 3.
Don't give the VIN number out.
What's the difference? It's a VIN number.
Oh.
I'm just saying the first group tells you who made the car. The second group tells you the model and stuff. But really, it's the 8th digit and the 10th digit that I look for all the time. The F means it's a 2.2 liter EGR port in head, and the 5 means it's a 2005. So the 8th and 10th digits are all I mostly look for on a VIN number. And so now we're going to get to the, oh yeah, some people say they have a low resale value, but I don't know, so would a Neon or so. They're just a bumpy little car to drive. They soak up small bumps, the struts in the front and the torsion bar in the rear. They suck up small bumps, but big bumps, they are not going to suck anything up. They weigh under 3,000 pounds, about 2,700, so it's almost 1.5 tons. Hold 14 gallons, came in 6 colors. They have a built-in tow hook, we found out. We live on a hill, and we would actually use that when we were doing the brake job, because when you do a brake job, you don't want to jack on the oil pan. You want to look for these spots where you can jack it up. And we found the tow hook was a spot. And over here, there's a rail that's about this long. At the end of the rail, that was a spot. And then if you jack it up in those spots, we can, because we have one of those floor jacks. We even have the old style. We have the old style from a garage. If you want to show it, I'll go back here.
Yeah, who got you that?
You did. Don't pass me, it's down there.
Oh.
It's that long, so it slides way under, and that's if you jack in the spot we did, you need a jack that long, otherwise you can't move the handle. So no, most people wouldn't be able to jack from where I said. Because if you use a short floor jack, your handle will hit the front before you get it to the spot that you want to jack on. But since we have that type of jack, I can. And then then I put my right here. I put these jack stands under the door rails, and then you just lift them up. And then I even put one of these blocks and a piece of wood on it behind the jack stands for safety for the jack stand. Because I do remove the jacks from both spots until we're done and we're going to let the car down.
And of course you block the wheels too.
What's that?
And you block the wheels.
Yeah, in the back you block the wheels if you're jacking up in the front. I used a 4x4. I used a 4x4, and you can do the same. And I don't know if this was big enough, but since I used the 4x4 on one side, I just use a chimney brick on the other side. It's solid brick. And before you jack it up, loosen here, take off your hubcaps, and then break the torque on the lug nuts, the 5 lug nuts. Jack it up, get it blocked up, and then once you get it blocked up, you got the disc in the front, drums in the back. Now this is what I wanted to see.